Hi friends, and welcome back to A Moment with Hale's garden tour edition. So it is really getting this morning just not my favorite weather to be out in the garden. It rained last night, we had a torrential downpour. So many bugs are out, but I have so much to do, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it while I'm working out in the garden with you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's garden tour. There's so much going on, I can't wait to show you, so let's go ahead and get started. So first I'm gonna get started on picking green beans. We've already had one green bean harvest and I think we're getting a second one here pretty quickly. I wanna say too, if you're a first time gardener, green beans are a great addition to the garden. They are easy to grow, they're easy to can and preserve. They're also just easy to eat. You can just take them right off the vine and eat them. You can do either pole beans or bush beans. I do bush green beans. I think they're jade beans, and that's what I recommend doing. They grow really well. If you want something that's going to vine or climb, you can always do pole beans as well too, but they're a really great addition to the garden. But my goal this year is to have enough green beans to make green bean casserole for Thanksgiving for my family. So I think we're going to get there, so we'll see what happens. We got a small little harvest today of green beans, and I have a ton inside as well. Here are the 5 green beans that I canned successfully, which is exciting. I think I have another 4 downstairs from this harvest. So we are good to go, well on our way to preserving the green beans. And I think even with this small harvest, we did get maybe some record-breaking green beans. So I think the longest one I had last year was 5 inches. So we're gonna have to measure these and see if I beat the record. The garden records from 2024 are here, and we have the longest green bean was 5.2 inches. Let's see if I beat that. Okay, let's see. Definitely beating the record. I would say 6.5 inches. So we have a new record holder here. Next, we're going to take a look at the cucumber trellis. It's growing really nicely. It's definitely trellising all the way up, which is exciting. And finally, one of my garden goals this year was to have a trellis, have them meet in the middle, and I did accomplish that. So, well, I guess they did, so that's exciting. But we have a ton of cucumbers in here. So we have one here, we have this guy hanging here, this one here, over here. So we're gonna do some overnight 24-hour pickles again, because my last recipe didn't go so well. So we're gonna give it another try. And then we're going to do 14-day pickles too. It's like a dill pickle recipe that my husband's obsessed with, but we just have a ton of cucumbers right now, so I'm getting really excited. So let me pick them. And on this side of the trellis, we have some more cucumbers going along. Pickles is on the mind. So definitely some more that are gonna hopefully come along. Not bad for the amount of cucumbers that we need, and I think I have like 7 more inside as well, so we definitely have plenty. We also have some melons growing as well, so we're excited about those. They'll continue to grow as the season goes on. When you get a lot of rain with melon, they can grow really quickly and then split very quickly too. So you want to make sure if you have melons, you're kind of paying attention to what's going on with them. Oh, there's a tiny little one. And when it rains, you definitely want to come out and check, because we have lost many a melon due to them splitting and then bugs getting in it. So there's our other one too. So the melons are definitely coming along. We're getting very excited because we love the melon portion of our garden, but this is just growing so beautifully. I'm really excited about it. My cherry tomato plants are starting to change color, so I'm getting excited that they are getting ready to harvest. These are so fresh. They're I need to remember the name, like sun-dried or sun-ripened tomatoes. Sun-kissed maybe, but they are delicious, so I'm getting excited that we're seeing some red. I also added into the garden this year, I think it's called an indeterminate tomato plant. Someone can correct me, but they're supposed to trellis. I don't see them trellising, but they're definitely growing really large. It's a beautiful plant. I do have some little cherry tomatoes started on this side. I've had to zip tie it up because it's definitely growing very quickly, but I don't see where people are saying it will climb. I don't see that with this variety, but maybe I'm doing it wrong. So if someone wants to tell me how I'm supposed to trim them or whatever, but yeah, this is what's going on with these. It's looking really, really pretty. I'm excited to try it. Also can't forget about my reject tomato plant. It fell and it broke. So I just leaned it against the fence because it had some tomatoes on it, but they're actually still changing. So it's looking okay. I don't know how long this guy will hang on, but I definitely just put him kind of in the corner, but he's hanging on. And I love when we get to the point in the season where a little color is added into my green basket. Our sugar baby watermelons have taken off as well. These are probably one of my favorite things to grow. I like to see the sugar babies form and grow. This one is getting very independent, growing all the way up, so it should probably trellis all the way back down. But we have two sides of the trellis going, and it's looking like they're liking the rain and the sunshine. I think we only have, oh, there's one. So there's one tiny little watermelon. And I think there is another one over here. If I can find it. Oh yeah, there it is. Another little baby watermelon. So these are just sugar babies. They're just personalized watermelons. And they're just growing right up here very beautifully. I'm excited. And here we have our super whimsical and beautiful cucamelons. I am still trying to figure out what we're gonna do with all of these, but it is growing really beautifully. If you want something to trellis, this is what you definitely should plant. It looks gorgeous. They're just not our favorite, but I'm gonna work on pickling them again. We tried one recipe, we didn't like it, but they look like little cucamelons. They look like little melons, but they taste like tiny little cucumbers. So I'm gonna bring them today to a baby shower too. Maybe someone will like them as part of the veggie dish and or veggie tray. And yeah, so this is looking really beautifully. It has beat my expectations when it comes to trellising. It's gorgeous. If you want something to trellis, this is definitely a 10 out of 10 recommend. We've got the cucamelon harvest here. My carrots are still looking good. I think I'm going to give them one more week and then I will be pulling out my larger carrots, but I am going to go through, I did some thinning last weekend, but I'm seeing my second round of carrots definitely need some thinning, so I'm gonna go through and clean those up. And while I'm doing this, I do just want to say I feel like there has been an agenda to convince us that convenience is a luxury and that growing your own food or having to learn how to provide for yourself means we've somehow regressed in society, that progression or progress is when we've arrived and no longer have to do these things for ourselves. And that's one of the reasons why my husband and I decided to kind of get chickens and grow our own food, is we realized, what are we progressing towards? A life of convenience is just going to make us more lazy, make us less informed. Having time for just luxury, as in streaming something on Netflix and just intaking propaganda, is that really how we want to be spending our time? And connecting back with how we grow food has really been a lot of fun for me personally, and also has brought me a lot of joy and fulfillment. It also has just reconnected me to the Lord and scripture, and I feel like I can see his hand in creation. It's amazing when you learn how things grow and work together. It's just a basic skill that many of us should know how to do, and that we shouldn't be relying on big box stores or grocery stores to provide the food for us. There might be even an agenda to convince us that food doesn't come from the ground, it comes from a factory. And I think it's important for people to know where their food comes from and the fact that they can provide it for themselves. Just something to think about when we are told that convenience means we have arrived. That isn't necessarily true. Convenience usually means that we're giving away freedom or that we're having a less productive life. So just something to think about. All right, this is what I thinned today. Sorry, my husband's working on the chicken coop. I don't know if you can see them behind me, so this is fun. But I see that there are some carrots that are actually ready to harvest. And I'm going to a baby shower. I probably said that like 10 times in this video, but I can't remember if I did. So I'm going to a baby shower and I have to bring the veggie tray. So I think it'd be super fun to bring some carrots that I grew. With carrots, you can tell that they're ready when they start to poke out of the ground. This one I think is just poking out because I was digging in here, but let's see. Oh gosh, that's a tiny little carrot. This is a great example. See how you can see the orange around it? It means it's ready to be picked. It's a tiny one. Oh, this one is like, I'm afraid this is gonna start bolting. So let's see. This looks like a mama. Yeah, that's a good one too. This stalk is also looking pretty thick, so I'm gonna pull this one out too. Oh, look at those. There's another little one. So beautiful. I'm Seeing a top there too. Oh, and another one over here. Whoa. Now remember, this is a lesson. This is why you have to thin out carrots, because otherwise they're super small. Okay, let's see about this one. Here we go. Ooh, it's a nice one. And let's add a little pop of orange in our harvest for today. This is my potato conundrum. I planted a different variety this year and I've been kind of unhappy with the amount of yield I'm getting. And I need to put my pumpkins in the ground, and this is where they're gonna go. And I planted them a long time ago, like in March, and they're still not dying off how they should be. But yeah, see, I didn't get any potatoes from this. I have always had decent success with the purple potatoes, but whatever type of potato this is, it's giving me tiny little potatoes. So I'm going to rip out at least this side, because this side was the dead side, and then put my pumpkins in here that I have ready to go. And then as these die off, I'll replace them with pumpkins too, but my pumpkins need to get in the ground. So this makes me a little more sense to me, but it looks like something got in here and has been eating at me. 2 successful potatoes, so that's fun. These will go into the compost. Here are my little potatoes. So a good little amount from what I had. I just think the purple potatoes grew way better. We have some pumpkin seedlings, which are looking great, but they definitely need to get in the ground. So I'm just gonna take them out. You see here, and I'm going to break it apart, I think. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just gonna plant them. I plant them in kind of deep, so I'll probably put it in right up to this point. And then this one I'll probably put in up to this point as well. You guys, look what I found. Hold on, I have to bring you close. Look at this potato. Okay, wow. So I grew actually one decent potato. Well, I think this potato will set my record. We'll have to go check inside, but little potato harvest. Also, I forgot, but I have been saving coffee grounds in my house for putting the pumpkins in the garden. So pumpkins do like coffee grounds. Because I've had potatoes in here, I do want to kind of give it some new life in the soil. So I have these to put in here. And I will continue probably to add them when I do a little more research. My sister-in-law and I both have gardens, and we are doing a competition to see who can get the biggest pumpkins. So I got to make sure I have enough nitrogen in here to get some good pumpkins. So, because I'm coming for you, Kita. And last but certainly not least, I want to show you guys the corn. Here's my little corn field, as I call it. Ignore the mess in the back, but we do have some tiny little, are they husks? I don't even know what they're called, cobs going. But I did notice we have allowed this to just get really out of hand. And we have some watermelon trellising up the corn. So this might be a problem, but it is what it is at this point. I don't know how we could change it, but we do have some little ears of corn going, which is exciting. Here are a couple other little tiny ones so far. There's one back there too, if you guys can see that. All right, friends, this is what we have for our little harvest today. We have our potatoes, cucumbers, cucamelons, some tomatoes, and our beautiful carrots and green beans as well. I'm really excited because the garden is definitely hitting the season where it's going to get very busy. So follow along if you want to see how I preserve my food or use it, because I know it can be overwhelming when you start to get fresh produce. Thanks for watching. Again, I just hope this inspires people or shows people that you don't have to be an expert to grow a garden. There's trial and error. Some things go really well, some things don't. And it's just all part of the growing process. So definitely, if you haven't considered it, maybe consider growing something, even if it's herbs on your windowsill, just to have the experience and learn a skill that maybe you didn't have. And if you're interested in seeing more of my playlists, I do have the Coffee and Conspiracy playlist, a Technocracy loading playlist, and then Your Morning Start, which is a little podcast I do to get our day started with a biblical perspective, if you'd like to check that out. But thanks for watching, friends. I hope you spend some time in your garden today, and I'll be talking to you soon.